Leo, let me say it right away. This only happens once every 100 years, and this time, it's happening to you. Not someone else. Not in theory. To you. If that makes you pause, good. It should. Because what's coming is not just a lucky break. It's a shift so rare, so powerful, that it has the potential to rewrite the way you see yourself, your life, and your place in it. Now I know that sounds big. Maybe too big. But that's the energy we're entering. Starting November 19th, something opens in your chart that hasn't been activated for generations. And I'm not here to dress it up with vague promises. I'm here to translate cosmic truth into real-life meaning because I believe you're ready to hear it. You didn't just stumble into this video. That's not how energy works. You showed up here because something inside you, whether you're fully aware of it or not, has been whispering that it's time. Time to remember the dream you buried. Time to admit you're meant for more. Time to stop pretending you don't feel the pull towards something bigger. And the universe? It's responding. Astrologically, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, blessings, divine timing, forms a rare trine with your sign through Gemini. This isn't just about good luck. This is coded energy. Targeted guidance. It's as if the universe is trying to show you the map you lost, and now you've got to decide if you're finally ready to follow it. And if you're honest, Leo, you've always known you're meant for more than what the world expected of you. You weren't born to stay small, to dim your light, to perform a role that pleases others but burns you out. You were born under the sun. You're not here to be liked. You're here to lead. But here's the twist, this leadership. It won't come through force. It will come through trust. Vulnerability. Spiritual maturity. The very things your past self may have seen as weakness. Between November 19th and the early part of 2026, someone is going to enter your life. A person who doesn't come empty-handed. A person who brings resources, insight, or even a divine mirror to show you exactly what's been missing. But your part in this? It's not about control. It's about recognizing the gift when it comes and not letting pride or fear of disappointment make you walk away from the thing you've always wanted, but never had the courage to claim. I want you to sit with that for a moment. Because if your instinct is telling you, maybe this is it. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. And if you've been feeling like you're stuck at the edge of something you can't quite name, this might be the message you've been waiting for. Before we go further, let me take a moment to thank you not just for watching, but for being here with presence, with openness, and with that inner fire that still flickers, even on your hardest days. Every like, every comment, every subscription brings you deeper into this shared space we've created, one that's devoted to spiritual clarity, soulful leadership, and yes, real transformation. If you feel like this message was meant for you, don't just scroll past. Take a second, anchor your intention. Comment below, I'm ready to receive what's meant for me. Say it as a declaration, not for me, but for you. Let the universe hear you say it out loud. Stay with me. What comes next might just change the way you see everything. Something begins shifting when Jupiter forms a trine to Leo. It's not a small wave, it's a deep cosmic pull. And you might not see it at first. You might just feel a restlessness in your chest, or notice that old dreams you'd forgotten about suddenly start tugging at you again. That's not random. That's what alignment feels like before it becomes obvious. This is what I call a soul crossroad, not dramatic, not loud but unmistakable once it starts happening. For Leo, this rare trine between Jupiter and Gemini opens what I can only describe as a corridor of divine timing. Jupiter expands. Gemini translates. Leo, you lead. And when those three come into harmony, they unlock a message that isn't just general, it's personal. It's encoded just for you. You'll start seeing signs. You might get a call from someone you haven't heard from in years, and they'll say something that stirs something inside you. Or maybe a random post or article pops up, and suddenly it feels like someone is reading your mind. And no, it's not magic in the dramatic sense, it's resonance. Your frequency is shifting to meet what's already been prepared for you on the other side. I've seen this happen countless times in the lives of people I've worked with. But here's the thing most people don't realize: the signal is only the beginning. The path still requires choice, presence, courage, and timing. That's where many people fall away because they expect the miracle to arrive fully formed, gift-wrapped and comfortable. But real miracles? They usually arrive disguised as interruptions. Inconvenient opportunities. Conversations you almost dismissed. The presence of the magician in your current energy confirms something powerful. You're not waiting for someone else to hand you the answer. You already carry the tools, the knowledge, the instincts, the soul imprint. The magician is the first card in the tarot's major arcana because he's the one who begins the journey, not by being ready, but by realizing he already is. So what's needed now is not more information. It's trust. Trust in your timing. Trust in your patterns. Trust in the invitations that don't come with flashing lights, but with that quiet inner knowing, this matters. From November 19th to the 23rd, something is going to reach for you. It may be subtle or sudden, but it will come. A text. A chance meeting. A dream you can't shake. That's how the door opens. Whether you walk through it, hats up to you. Sometimes, in the middle of routines, emails, bills, and distractions, we forget that our lives are made of moments like this. Brief, brilliant, terrifying moments when you can say yes to a new chapter before you even know how it ends. Not because it's easy, but because something in your spirit remembers that you've waited for this far longer than your calendar shows. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. But you do have to be honest about what's waking up inside you. Because the window is opening now, and when windows like this open, they don't wait around forever. This is where your new path begins, not because someone tells you, but because you recognize it in your bones. Because your soul whispers, finally. And if you're feeling that now, you're not imagining it. Take a breath, Leo. This is your moment. And if it speaks to you, comment below and say, I'm open to what's coming. Say it for you. Say it to mark this turning point. And when you're ready, let's go even deeper. You ever have a dream that used to feel so alive inside you, but over time, it got quieter? Not because it didn't matter anymore, but because life got heavier. Maybe it was something creativity, an idea you swore would one day change your world. Or maybe it was a sense of purpose that once lit you up at 3 a.m., scribbling notes, plans, or prayers on the back of receipts and old journals. But somewhere along the line, reality stepped in, and that fire? It got buried under work, responsibilities, exhaustion, or silence. And if I had to guess, Leo, you didn't walk away from that dream because you didn't care. You walked away because it hurt to want something so much and not know how to get there. Because every time you tried, the path seemed unclear or worse, like it belonged to someone else. But here's the part that always gets me: dreams don't die. They wait. They wait for alignment. They wait for your soul to be ready again. And this moment, this rare alignment in the stars, is your signal that something you once thought was over is being gently handed back to you, not as a test, but as a second chance. That old dream? It wasn't foolish. It was sacred. It was never meant to be perfect or easy. It was meant to grow with you. And now that you've lived through some storms, carried some weight, learned how to bend without breaking, now you're stronger. Not tougher. Softer, wiser, more attuned to what actually matters. And when Jupiter opens that cosmic door, what often surprises people is how subtle it feels. It's not usually a dramatic lightning strike. It's more like a quiet invitation. A name you haven't heard in years shows up in a message. A song you forgot suddenly plays. An image, a feeling, an idea you haven't thought about in forever lands softly in your awareness. And you recognize it not with logic, but with something deeper. Something like breath. That's your map being returned to you. But here's the beautiful part: this time, you're not being asked to walk alone. The journey may still be yours, but the path won't be empty. You'll start seeing people, opportunities, conversations that feel almost eerily aligned because they are. The universe isn't dropping this dream back into your hands as a dare. It's guiding you, gently but clearly, toward your next becoming. And I want to remind you, especially if you've been feeling unsure lately, there's no too late when it comes to soul work. Purpose doesn't expire. Creativity doesn't have a clock. And the part of you that still longs for this? That's not weakness. That's evidence you're still alive, still connected, still in motion. So when that dream stirs again, and it will, then push it away. Don't talk yourself out of it. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Let it tell you what it needs this time around. And if you don't have all the answers yet, that's okay. You're not supposed to. You're not expected to have it all figured out. You're just asked to say yes to the first step. Because this isn't about chasing something. It's about remembering who you were before the world made you forget. It's about choosing to believe again, not blindly, but bravely. And if any part of this is waking something up inside you, good. That's not coincidence. That's timing. If you feel it rising, let me know in the comments. Say it out loud: I remember my dream, and I'm ready now. Let that be your moment. Let that be the prayer you didn't know you were waiting to say. There are times in life when help comes not as a rescue, but as a reflection. And if you're honest, Leo, you've spent a lot of time being the strong one. The one who leads, the one who carries, the one who shines for everyone else. You're used to being the source of light. But what happens when the universe sends someone who carries a light of their own, one that complements yours rather than competes with it? In this current astrological window, that's what's being prepared for you. A soul contract is surfacing. Someone who holds something you've been missing, not because you're incomplete, but because you were never meant to build everything alone. This person might not arrive with fireworks. They might show up quietly. A mentor. A business partner. A reconnected love from the past, but steadier now, clearer. Someone who sees you not just for your brilliance, but for your blind spots too, and still chooses to stand beside you. The energy of the King of Pentacles appearing in your spread signals someone who's grounded, patient, and secure, not just financially, but emotionally. They've built themselves from scratch, or maybe failed enough times to know how to build better now. What they bring into your life is structure, focus, and most importantly, relief. The kind of relief that comes when someone else finally says, "Let me help you carry this." But here's the challenge, because there's always one, isn't there? This moment asks more of you than just receiving. It asks you to open, to loosen your grip, to allow someone else's rhythm into your perfectly timed inner world. And for a sign like Leo, so connected to individual fire, that can feel uncomfortable, even threatening. You might be tempted to stay in charge of everything, to keep your systems tight, your decisions solo, your pace fast. But if you do that, this connection may only skim the surface of its potential. Because this isn't just a helper arriving. This is a co-creator. A mirror. A key. This is where you must pause and ask, do I want one more shining moment alone, or do I want a legacy that can hold others without burning out? Legacy, after all, is not about control. It's about continuation. You see, it takes a certain kind of courage to lead with fire. But it takes an even deeper strength to share your Ferrito, trust that it won't be diminished, but amplified, when combined with someone else's wisdom. There's a reason this person is showing up now. You've done so much on your own. You've proven your independence, your ambition, your resilience. But now, the story is shifting. From building to co-building. From command to collaboration. And this shift doesn't mean you're losing your power. On the contrary, it means you're ready to hold more of it. But in a new way. A wiser way. A way that lasts. You're being called into something bigger than success. You're being invited into sustainability. Into impact. Into building a foundation that's so solid, it keeps standing long after the applause fades. So when this person appears, and they willn't overthink it. Don't rush to analyze or predict the outcome. Just breathe. Stay curious. Let connection unfold in its own pace. And most of all, ask yourself the real question beneath all the noise. Am I willing to let this be easier than it's ever been before? If you feel this message landing in your chest, grounding you gently, say it with me in the comments. I'm ready to build together. Let that be your first act of trust in what's coming next. What no one tells you about growth is that the hardest battles don't happen in front of others. They happen when no one's watching, when the spotlight is gone, the dust has settled, and you're left alone with your thoughts, your patterns, and your fears. And sometime around early 2026, under the watchful moon in Capricorn or Cancer, that moment arrives. It likely won't come as a dramatic event. It won't look like a disaster. In fact, it might come disguised as something so ordinary you almost miss it. A decision that feels heavier than it should, a silence that stings more than usual, or a misunderstanding that cuts deeper than expected. But underneath the surface, something sacred is happening. It's not the world testing you, it's the version of you that you've outgrown, offering one last resistance before it lets go. Your pride may speak first. It may whisper old lines you've told yourself for years. I've got this. I don't need anyone. If I rely on them, I lose something of myself. And to be fair, those beliefs didn't come from nowhere. They were built on moments when you were let down. When you gave too much and got too little. When vulnerability wasn't safe, and silence felt like strength. But here's what's different now. You're not that person anymore. You've evolved. You've learned how to hold your own fire without burning yourself out. And the universe knows this, so it's giving you an opening to show just how far you've come. Because in this next chapter, strength won't look like control. It'll look like surrendering to the right moment, to the right support, to the right hands. This is the final threshold you cross before you step fully into the life that's been forming beneath the surface. The test isn't about proving your independence. You've already done that. It's about proving that you can lead without needing to isolate. That you can be seen in your uncertainty without being ashamed of it. That you can ask for help without it rewriting your worth. This moment will invite you to remove the armor you've worn for years. And yes, that armor has kept you safe, but it's also kept you separate. It's dulled your ability to truly connect. It's muffled the moments when love was trying to reach you but couldn't get through your self-protection. And so, when that subtle crisis presents itself, don't rush to fix it. Don't default to silence or distance. Pause. Breathe. And ask yourself a deeper question. Is this really mine to carry alone? Because the truth is, healing doesn't happen through control. It happens through connection. And trust not perfection is the door to everything you've been longing for. You will not weaken by letting someone in. You will rise. In fact, the moment you say, I need you, and mean it not as a plea, but as a choice, you reclaim a part of yourself you forgot existed. The part that knows how to be held, not just how to hold. The part that believes love is not something to earn, but something to share. And that, Leo, is how you truly win. If any of this feels like it's speaking directly to you, don't let it float by. Ground it. Comment below and write, I choose trust over control. Let that be your quiet revolution. The day you stopped proving and started receiving. There comes a time when you stop chasing applause and start building something that speaks long after the noise fades. For Leo, this is that time. You may have believed you were born to wear the crown, and maybe you were. But as you've grown, you're beginning to realize that the real mark of leadership isn't what sits on your head. It's what lives in your hands, your heart, and how you show up for others when no one is watching. You've stepped into a role now that isn't about ruling, but about creating. And more than that, it's about creating space for others to rise, to heal, to shine. That's the new power you carry. You're not just a point of light anymore. You're becoming a constellation, a guiding system for people finding their own way. The seal you carry isn't ceremonial. It wasn't given to you by a vote or a title. It was forged in the heat of your own Beckamingen, the decisions you made when no one clapped, in the moments you chose grace over ego, in the nights you stayed open even when it hurt. That's how true leadership is born. Quietly. Deeply. Through self-mastery, not performance. And here's the part many don't expect. the final form of your growth doesn't look like standing alone at the peak. It looks like standing in a valley of light surrounded by others whose lights were sparked because of you. Not because you saved them, but because you believed in them when they weren't ready to believe in themselves. That's legacy. That's spiritual architecture. That's real influence. You become the axis of something bigger than your own ambition. The ripple effect of your healing, your voice, your willingness to evolve is now expanding outward. The people who cross your path feel something shift, not because you're perfect, but because you're present. You hold steady, not with control, but with clarity. You're no longer chasing meaning. You're planting it. In conversations. In collaborations. In the quiet encouragements that grow stronger than any loud command ever could. And that's where everything changes. When your story stops being about your own survival or spotlight, and starts being about how you create the conditions where others can thrive too. Not because it's your responsibility, but because it's your gift. This isn't the end of your rising, it's the expansion of it. You are not stepping down from your power. You're stepping deeper into it. But now, the expression is more refined. More grounded. Less urgent, more intentional. You're becoming the kind of leader who doesn't need to be seen all the time to be felt. You're leaving marks not in stone, but in hearts. And that kind of impact, it doesn't fade. It multiplies. So if you've ever wondered whether it was worth it, all the growth, the setbacks, the learning curves, the answer is in every soul that's now rising alongside you. Because of you. And if this resonates, if you feel this shift anchoring inside you, I want you to name it. Say it with me in the comments. I carry the seal of the builder. Let it be your new declaration, not of status, but of purpose. You didn't just climb the mountain. You made it safer for others to follow. And that, Leo, is your true crown. Leo, if you've come this far, take a moment to really let that sink in. Because the fact that you stayed with this message, that you allowed yourself to feel, to remember, and to consider something deeper, means you're already opening the door to what's next. You were never meant to walk alone. You were never meant to carry the entire weight of your life on your shoulders, proving something to a world that was never your real audience. You were born to shine, but not for the sake of performance. You were born to illuminate, to guide, to grow something real from within and offer it outward. Starting November 19th, the sky isn't just offering you a forecast, it's offering you a choice. And choices, Leo, are where power lives. You can choose to protect your pride, or you can choose to protect your purpose. You can choose to repeat old patterns, or you can write new ones that finally feel like home. You can choose to fight your way to the top, or you can build something beautiful that lasts long after you're gone. What's coming for you is bigger than status or validation. What's coming is peace. Wholeness. A grounded knowing that you are finally in alignment with who you're meant to be, not the version of you the world once demanded, but the one that was always quietly waiting beneath the noise. This is the time to stop chasing and start choosing. To stop bracing and start allowing. To stop hiding and start building. So I ask you, sincerely, what would shift in your life if you truly believed you no longer had to do it alone? Who could you become if you let the right people in? What kind of life could grow from that one brave moment of saying, I'm ready? If something inside you is stirring, don't ignore it. Give it a voice. Leave a comment below and write, "I'm ready to rewrite my destiny," or "I welcome the 100-year miracle." Let that be your yes. Let that be your quiet signal to the universe that you're ready for more, not more effort, but more meaning, more alignment, more joy. And if this message touched something real in you, if you felt seen, supported, or guided in any way, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another opening like this. Every like, every comment, every moment you spend here, don't take it for granted. You are part of a growing circle of souls choosing to awaken on purpose. And I promise you, dear Leo, what the universe is offering now is not just change, it's transformation. Stay close. The next chapter is already unfolding.